The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the program. It is the show that they said it is. How are you? Good to be with you. I come into the studio once a week to do what I do on the radio every weekday. This is the visual version, which is kind of stupid because I don't do anything physically in the show. I just sit and talk, so okay, whatever. Thanks for being here, though. It's NewEnglandBroadcasting.com, on which I do my every weekday program. Been doing that since 2014, I believe. Still doing syndicated radio, but before 2014, I was doing only broadcast radio, and then someone tapped me on the face and said, hey, this podcast thing could take off. And I said, no, it won't. You don't know what you're talking about. Podcast is stupid. Well, it still is, but it did take off, as most things do that really shouldn't. So that's that. So now I'm on all these platforms, the Amazon Music and the iHeartRadio and SoundCloud and SoundSound and Poundtown and Pandora and iTunes and TuneIn and TuneOut and the Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. And the syndicated radio stations where you can actually still turn on a radio and hear me. Oh, my God. Really? And do they still have phone booths and phone books? I mean, no, they don't. And I'm going to raise my hand. This is how you're going to know how old I am. I still have a landline phone. I also have cell phones, sure, because otherwise, how can you live? But I still have a landline, and I still use it, so there. And I'm proud of it, and I'm telling you that, and that's it. Anyway, welcome to the program. I like doing this because when I was doing strictly broadcast radio, we did call-ins. I used to do the morning show in the Boston and South Shore area for like 20 years or 25 years. People would call in the morning. I was on from 7 in the morning till, I believe, 10 o'clock in the morning every weekday, and it was a lot. So people would call in, and I'd have to talk to them, and I didn't like that too much. So this is better. On the actual show that I do on the radio and podcast thing, I do have guests toward the end of every show. Otherwise, I just talk like incessantly about things. But at the end, I always have a guest for like 10 minutes because that's all I can tolerate. So that gets pretty interesting, too. Okay, enough about you. Let's move on, shall we? And thank you to the people at this facility here. What town am I in? Swampscott, what is this? Easton, sorry. Thank you to them for letting me come in here and do this. It's whatever. Okay. What do you want to talk about? Oh, the cicadas are coming. Not here, but in other parts of the country, this country, is it cicadas? Cicadas? How do you pronounce that? Huh? What is it? Cicadas? Cicadas? Cicada? I can't hear you. It's these bugs. They look like locusts or something like that, or crickets or something. They're disgusting looking bugs. And people actually eat them because they are so plentiful. There's no other reason to do that. And they come around like once every 14 years or something in various parts of the country, kind of like an asteroid. And what they do is they multiply and they have sex and they become more so, and then they hibernate for 14 years. I can't even get to sleep at night. I can't even get a good 6 hours of sleep. The cicadas are getting like 14 years of it. A little jealous. This means like they must have a lot of melatonin or something. So anyway, they're coming out again. And then I read a fact about this, and I double-checked it because I don't like to give out false information like some people do. Hey, did you hear Bob said this? It must be true. I don't go for that. But this is a thing that I checked out. The cicadas, cicatos. This is going to be odd, but it's true. They have the strongest pee stream of any living thing. I know that's an excuse me, what did you say kind of moment. Apparently, these little cockroach bugs, apparently when they pee, as all bugs must do, their stream is the strongest of any living thing. Stronger than the human being, stronger than the elephant, stronger than the horse on a parade route. These little tiny things have an extremely strong pee stream. And that's their claim to fame. So, I mean, and I'm thinking, all right, maybe they have the strongest pee stream as an insect, but what if cicada is over 60 years old? Not as much, right? Not as much. I mean, anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the cicada story. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. I have no idea. But it kind of doesn't matter at this point in my life. What else do you want to talk about here? Donald Trump, you familiar with him? Here's the deal with him. He's a like a snake oil salesman. He sells his own product. He sells products that are named after him. Who does this? Presidents don't do this. The Queen of England does that kind of stuff. But here are some of the Trump products. First of all, let's start with the newest one. This just got released today. It's the Trump Bible. Trump has teamed up with Lee Greenwood. Is that his name? He's a country singer, and he did that song. What is that song there? Proud to be an American. Nice song. Gives you the little willies sometimes. It's good. And I'm proud to be an American so far. So they put out the Bible, and now you can buy this Bible from the Trump people. And Trump's actually does the stand-up commercial for it, and he says he's teamed up with Lee Greenwood, and this is the Trump Bible, and it's subtitled, anyway. So here's the problem with this. It's kind of ironic is the problem. Trump actually says at the end of his commercial, let's all be good Christians. And then I'm thinking, Donald, you got a mirror in the place there? Let's all be good Christians. First of all, I remember when Trump was running for president the first time, that a reporter asked him, what is your favorite book? And Trump said, the Bible is my favorite book. And I thought that was a humorous response. And then the reporter said, what's your favorite passage? And Trump said he couldn't come up with anything. And finally he said, well, the one with the two apostles. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Was this not a wake-up call to anybody that perhaps this is not his favorite book? Anyway, so he says Trump says at the end of his commercial trying to sell his Trump Bible, proud to be an American or something like that. He says at the end of the commercial, let's all try to be good Christians. And I'm thinking, Donald, the money that you raise from this Bible is probably going to go to your trial, where you're saying you didn't do the $300,000 payoffs to Stormy Daniels, which they have the check, and they did. Is that Christian? So now we got you paying off a porn star, and you're trying to be a good Christian. And here we are trying to be more civil, and you're telling opponents that they should be hung, and that their family members are pieces of crap, and to ruin their reputations publicly. That's Christian, Don? All right, don't get me started here, okay? That's not the only item that Donald Trump actually hawks. There are others. He has a he has a bobblehead. Now, there was a bobblehead of the Queen of England, and there's a bobblehead of King Charles or whatever he is, Prince Charles, King, whatever. There was a bobblehead of almost every president. So I'm not going to get down on Trump for the bobblehead, and also the bobblehead is not a symbol of intelligence necessarily. I mean, to be portrayed in a figure that constantly goes like this is kind of like stupid. At a point, and still, Donald Trump is selling pictures of his mugshot at the time of indictment, and actually selling for large amounts of money pieces of the clothing and suit and tie that he was wearing during the mugshot. Lord. Trump also sells, and this is funny, those little plastic bears, and there's the honey in them. They're called the honey bears. He's got one in the shape of Trump. So you can squeeze the sweetness out of Trump, which I believe has already been done theoretically. He also sells a gold coin, which is hundreds of dollars or something like that. It's an actual gold coin with guess whose headshot on the coin, Don. He also has Trump wine. I don't even know what to say about that. Then he has a Melania. Is that her name? His wife, Melania. There's a doll that has her in a bridal dress. Oh my God, that is weird. That is weird. There's a Bowie knife that has Trump's name on the handle. And then there are socks. There are Donald Trump socks, and they have headshots of Donald Trump all over the socks. Little heads all over the socks of Donald Trump. I don't even know what to say. So if you want to spend your money wisely, I guess buy all these things. It's just odd that Trump has to sell Trump socks and Trump Bibles and Trump honey bears when he can't even keep his name on a skyscraper, on a building. I just don't get it. Anyway, I'm not saying anything politically. I'm just saying, as a man selling stuff with his image on it, it's just a little bit funky and concerning, I must say. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about the Trump sneakers. They're gold sneakers, and he sells those, and I believe they're $300 a pair. Hey, you spend your money the way you want to. And there's Trump steaks too. What? Why? Is that because there are Trump cows? What's going on here? What is going on here? I have learned in my long life a couple of things as far as successful relationships are concerned. And it's more so because I am a man as opposed to a female, and I'm not being sexist at all. This is just a fact. I have learned that the most successful way to have a wonderfully sweet, loving relationship is if your partner says something that is not to your, and partner meaning your wife, your significant other of some sort, whatever, person you live with, whatever that may be, if they say something that is ridiculously insulting or out of line or anything like that, do not call them out on it. Just shut up. I have learned that controlling oneself not to talk is an art and one of the most difficult things in the world to do. Not to call out stupidity when it's right in front of you. But if it's a significant other, just learn when to shut up. Because you saying things that are only going to make the situation worse does not make sense at that point. Now, I do radio shows and I speak my piece on just about everything, but not with my spouse. No, 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 no. You have to learn when to shut up. So, how can I make money short of having a bobblehead or a Bible named after me? Well, here's how I'm going to make money, and you can contribute to me if you'd like. I'm actually going to go across the country. I know, it's a lot. I should start locally, but I'm not. I'm going to go across the country. I'm going to do lecture halls all over this great country of ours. And I'm going to teach people, massive audiences, how and when to shut up. And it shall be the new mantra of the human race. When to shut up. When you should not respond. If your significant other says, how do I look in this dress? Whether it be male or female. How do I look in this dress? Either you can lie and say, great. Or you can just shut up. I choose just shut up. And if the other person says, why aren't you answering me? I simply say, I didn't hear you. And then I walk away and I act accordingly. Know when to shut up. It's my latest book. And there you go. I also noticed recently that honesty is not always the best policy. I have an insurance policy. It's not great, but it pays for things should something happen. But honesty is often not the best policy. When you're in court, it's the best policy. When you're trying to get a job or you're trying to go somewhere in business, it is the best policy because they can learn who you really are and there should be nothing wrong with you. But, again, when you're dealing with somebody in your home, your spouse, whatever the case may be, honesty is not the best policy. It's the worst policy. Now, you're saying, Ron, you should never lie to people. Oh, okay. Well, then you're going to have a difficult life. There's ways to lie that are not lying. For example, when your spouse says to you, how do I look in this dress? Does this dress make me look fat? Obviously, you can't tell them if you think that they do look fat in that dress. That would be like just taking a cyanide pill. Don't do that, either of those things. You can't be honest about that. You can't say, do I look fat in this dress? Yeah, humongous. You can't do that. That's where you have the choice to just shut up, change the subject somehow, or just to be clever. Just to be clever. And don't be honest. Be what I call favorably evasive. Ron, do I look fat in this dress? You have some great clothes and you look great. And that would be it. Or just you look great. You're intimating that they look great in that dress, but that's not what you said. You look great. That doesn't mean that you look great in that dress, but you look great. Not great there. And that'll end it. She'll walk away saying, oh, okay, cool. Then she'll wear the dress, and that'll be embarrassing. But at least you got away with this. You've lived for another day. Life can be very difficult sometimes. It really can. All right, the last thing I wanted to talk about today, and thank you for being here, by the way. You didn't have to do this. I appreciate it. My assumption is you had nothing else to do at this moment. And I think we're 10 minutes away to the end of the show, so if you can make it through, at least you can say to people, hey, I sat through one of his shows. Oh, okay. Then you do have tolerance and understanding and love for other people. That's all. Oh, you Lord. Oh, by the way, in the town of Easton, this nice little sleepy town, I say this on every show until I have a feeling that some of the what do you call them? Not council people. What do you call them? I don't know. You elect them to something and they represent you. The townspeople? No, that's not what they are. Whatever. The heads of state? Whatever. Townspeople? The townies? The town council? I don't know what it is. But if you're watching this, I want a food tasting. I want the food tasting back. I said this on the last show, but nothing happened, so I'm going to do it again. I want a food tasting thing here. I want the taste of Easton. I don't know what the taste of Easton is. I don't know if it's a little bitter or sweet or what it is. That tastes like Easton. Hey, wait a minute. This isn't the taste of Easton. Wait a second. That tastes more like Bridgewater. Hey, what are you trying to pull? I think you should do a taste of Easton. That way the local restaurants can participate and display their foods. And that way more of the residents will go try those foods as a full meal at these restaurants, or even be aware that these restaurants exist. It's a good way of serving the community and the community getting business from its own people. I think it's a great idea. It's a social event. COVID is over. People get the flu. It doesn't mean that you don't have food tastings. So I don't understand what the problem is now. Can someone organize this thing, please? I don't know who is in charge for organizing it. I guess, is there an Easton Business Association? I guess there must be. Can we get on to this, please? Can we do that? I'm requesting it. If you want to name it after me, that's just fine, but I'm requesting that you get back to that tradition that was very pleasurable, and a lot of people liked it. And I think you raised some money for some organizations, and the area banks and the area businesses had little tables and booths there, and they gave away pens and coffee mugs, which is fantastic, but also they showed that this is what we do for business. These are our interest rates. If you're a bank, this is what we can do. This is what we do for the community. Here's some outreach programs if you have this kind of need. I think it was a wonderful, wonderful thing for both restaurants and community groups and all kinds of businesses. The taste of Easton, it tasted really good to me. It was a fun time. I looked forward to it every year. Then COVID came and it just destroyed everything. Is it because COVID, when you get COVID, you can't taste anything? Is that why this stopped? Well, now people don't have COVID really much anymore, and they can taste again. So let's have the taste of Easton. If you please could do that, I would appreciate it. I don't ask for much. I really don't. Well, I do. I'd like you to lower the taxes because the property taxes are ridiculous. So if you could help me there too, I really appreciate that, but I guess that's not going to happen. So the least you can do to make me happy is to do the taste of Easton. And it doesn't have to be, well, it does have to be. So let's do it, okay? You had the high school there, a little jazz band or something, playing music. That was impressive. I mean, it was a win-win thing. And who doesn't do win things anymore? Easton doesn't, apparently. Can we get on to that, please? And you're saying, Ron, in the scheme of things, that's like on the bottom of our list. Put it on the top, because for people to feel good in their community is a very high priority. You do a lot of cultural events in the summer. I love that. You know, you got bands playing outside so babies can't sleep next door, that kind of thing. That's fine, whatever. Actually, it's not fine, but that's besides the point. So you have all these outdoor concerts and you do things and these festivals and that. Why can't we have the food thing come back? Why can't you do that? Is it people? You think people don't like to eat anymore? They love it. They love it. And I know all the restaurants would participate and all the businesses would, because it's an inexpensive way for them to introduce themselves to the community or to get business into their establishment. Because these are local businesses and people they don't want to travel like 10 towns away to have a burger. They want to go to your place, but they're not aware of it. You got to remind them. Can we do that, please? Can we do that, please? In prior years, as I recall, they were at Stonehill College. Stonehill College owes us a lot. Not so much in money, apparently, but they owe us a lot of stuff because we're very good to Stonehill College. We give them a lot of breaks. A lot of breaks. They have a major piece of the town, let's face it. Beautiful campus. My God, it's a beautiful campus. They're very nice to people. So a partnership with them, that's politically great. Let's get on this, okay? I mean, I don't want to have to do this every single week that I'm on the air, and I'm going to keep doing it until this comes to fruition. Now, if any of the council people, the town council wants to contact me, I will happily participate in the reconstruction of this particular event. I'd be happy to volunteer my time. I don't know what you want me to do, peel potatoes? I don't know. I'm not going to do that. But anything else I will do. Well, not anything else. I won't do much of anything, but I will help promote it or whatever. I have some great ideas, let's face it. I mean, no one's going to argue with that. So if any of you want to get in touch with me personally, you can find me. I'm not hard to find. Not hard to find at all. I'm probably sitting outside of your house right now. So let's do it, okay? That's all I'm asking. I don't ask for a lot. Do I knock on your door and say, excuse me, I want this immediately? I don't do that. I don't do that. I just publicly ask for it. And I know people are behind me. Not right now. There's just a wall with blue lights on it. But I know behind that blue wall with lights on it, people are behind me. So let's get that done. Doesn't take a lot. Simple things that don't cost a lot of money should be done. There's no reason not to do them. As I said last week, I got a letter or something, or maybe I didn't, from the water department in the town of Easton telling me that the impure, according to the state water situation, has been resolved. Now we are up to code. There are no PFOAs, no Teflon coatings in the water system. So it is safe to drink. It's up to code, and Massachusetts has one of the strictest water codes in the country. So that's very good news. So congratulations. I know through my taxes I paid for that. And so I guess instead of saying thank you to you, you should be saying thank you to me. And you know how you can thank me for contributing the water in my property taxes, the payments to fix your water problem? You know how you can thank me? Have a taste of Easton this year. Now, I'm doing this show toward the end of March. The Taste of Easton usually takes place in April. We can do this in May, as long as we do it before the kids are out of school, when people are still around to enjoy this great popular event. So there's still time to do it. And again, you can contact me. I will volunteer in any way that I can. And it's not a lot of, I'm not going to drive anybody to the airport. I will not help paint your apartment. I'm not doing that. I will not help you move. But I will help you organize this Taste of Easton. If you want to change the name of it to Ron's Taste of Easton, that's fine with me. I'm not going to argue that point much at all. I will do anything within my power and my convenience to make this successful. I am going to keep talking about this until it happens, as a matter of fact. I'm not even going to go off the air in half an hour. I'm going to stay here for 6 months until this is... And by the way, everything's flooded. All the water systems, speaking of water, are at the height of the lakes and ponds and the water supply, etc. There better not be any type of water restrictions this coming summer, because I am sick of having a brown lawn. Now, if we're out of water, brown lawns it is. That's fine. I get it. But can this be a year of green lawns again? I know again it's very, very superficial. I mean, it has nothing to do with anything, but I just think that would be wonderful. And I thank Mother Nature for not giving us a lot of snow this past winter, but at the same time, because climate change is real. The past few years, we have had the hottest summers, hottest years on record for over 11,000 years, which is way far back, more than we started taking records. Cyclical? Well, if it's cyclical, we're still in a lot of trouble because there's more cars on the road than ever, more pollution than ever. We're doing a lot of fossil fuel stuff here in this country. We're still digging. We're still doing the coal. We're not helping the situation. Take a look at your children and your grandchildren and then talk about saving the planet. I think you'll be convinced somewhat that we need to do things right now, like save the planet and have a taste of Easton. Have yourself a wonderful day. Wish you peace.